What's up, everybody? Mike Walsh here. So today I want to do a short video and just shout out an indie game that I recently played and absolutely loved and want to recommend to you, Metal Gardens, okay? This is a PC game. I got it on Steam. It is a short, exploration, platforming, first-person shooter. And it is quite short. That's the only knock I have against it, is that it's exceptional and you just wish you got more out of it. You know, you can beat it in a couple of hours. And it's cheap too. It's not like it's a big expensive game or nothing. But yeah, it just left you wanting more. It left you saying, "Oh my God, this needs a sequel," or we need to see more from this developer. I need more. But if that's your only complaint, is that it was so great that you need more of it, it's a pretty good game. Okay. And the reviews reflect that. I think it's got overwhelmingly positive reviews on Steam. I've seen a couple of videos of other, content creators big upping it. That's how I heard about it. And yeah, I'm going to tell you, if you've heard of it, you've heard the hype is real, okay? This game is very interesting. Yes, it's in this enclosed, weird structure, this mega structure that you're trying to escape. It's got this fun, I really enjoyed being in it, even though it's kind of a dark, bleak, brutalist kind of vibe, kind of aesthetic. Very desaturated, very brown, but very cool world, very fun to explore. And had a mix of mechanical stuff, but also, there are plants, there are animals, It had this kind of mix of vibes to it. And it reminded me of older titles. It didn't have a one-to-one aesthetic to any of these I'm going to list, but it still felt like, appropriate company alongside games like Fallout 2 or Oddworld or Morrowind or, games like that. I really liked the aesthetic. And gameplay-wise, it was a mix of things, in different ways, from these sort of open-ended exploration kind of, almost mild puzzle solving where you have to figure out where you need to go and how to get there. Kind of similar to Half-Life in that way. And the shooting kind of felt like Half-Life a little bit. But it was a lot more platformer, a lot more platform heavy. So it felt like a mix between Half-Life and the original Turok or something like that. That's sort of how it played. And I loved it. And I thought the pacing was great. I thought the way in which they mixed weaponry and combat with the platforming and exploration, I thought that balance was perfectly struck. There's also kind of interesting little quirks to it. So the health system is a little peculiar. It's got some mild sort of survival elements to it where you're collecting health packs and whatnot. But there are these stations where you can heal that you find periodically, and you get specific injuries as the combat encounters go on. So you can injure your shoulder, you can injure your head and legs and whatnot, and different things will happen because of that. So you can injure your head and it can affect your vision. So the way that's reflected is all of a sudden there's no HUD and you have no reticle on your weapon. Or there might be a HUD, but there's no reticle. So all of a sudden aiming with your firearms is much more difficult. So that's a fun little peculiarity, a little quirk. And I miss the days when games would do that kind of shit. I miss the days when games would have little things like that made their gameplay particularly unique compared to every other game in the genre. Games used to be more experimental in that way. And yeah, this is an indie game. You'd expect this to be the space where that would happen. This would be, it's not as shocking as if some big AAA title were doing that. But nevertheless, just as a gameplay experience, very fun, very new. And yeah, I loved it. I thought this was an absolute steal because I got it cheap too. I got it during the Steam sale. So I don't know what the actual price is now, but still cheap. It's, you could add this to my buy these games instead of Grand Theft Auto 6 video. So if you missed it, I put out a video basically saying that instead of blowing $80 on GTA 6, here's 5 other games I'm interested in that I can get for under $80 collectively. I could have easily added this into that mix, and it would have deserved a spot. And yeah, I beat this in an afternoon, and I loved it, and I'll probably replay it. It's really fun, and I'm very much intrigued by what this developer does next. So just wanted to make a quick video shouting out Metal Garden, saying that if you like any of the stuff I described, any of these sorts of, games I've referenced, Turok, Half-Life, if you like that old kind of dystopian exploration, post-apocalyptic vibe of titles like Oddworld, titles like Fallout 2, titles like Morrowind, whatever. If you're picking up what they're putting down, go play Metal Gardens. Okay, so That's all I got for you today. Like if you have not, subscribe if you have not. Check out my other YouTube channel if you have not. It's called Michael Walsh MMA. It is an MMA channel. I used to be an MMA fighter. I've been watching the sport since like 2005. I've got a lot to talk about with MMA. If you're interested, go check it out. I'll link it in the description box down below. If not, you just like nerd stuff, stick around here. And in any case, take care.